Hello, this is davidji, and welcome to this week's Life Tools. I've said before that Peaches teaches, resist nothing and you will receive unconditional love. And I'm often asked, what does that really mean in my life? So let's look at that. As far as civilizations go back, we see the ancient teachings of Jesus. We see the teachings of Rabbi Hillel, the teachings of Gandhi, the teachings of Martin Luther King in our most modern times. And they're all about taking the high road. They're all about nonviolence, ahimsa. They're all about resisting nothing, and you will receive unconditional love. Now, it doesn't mean that there's a direct line from resistance to that unconditional love, as we see with the journeys that Martin Luther King took and Gandhi took, and so many of these great people who fought social injustice, systemic racism, and inequality throughout time. But if we begin by resisting nothing and just show up, stand up, put our best foot forward, hold our palms up rather than our fists like this, then the energy of the universe will weave through us. There's been a lot of anger and all sorts of emotional constriction and emotional turbulence over the last 18 months with our election cycle here in the United States. And regardless of whatever your belief systems are, we know that the things that irritate us or bother us about either of the candidates or any of the candidates who've run so far really have nothing to do with those candidates. They're about our response mechanisms to something that we find bothersome or offensive or anger creating. It's what we interpret. And so we have to realize that when we have an emotion, it's not based on that person doing anything. It's not about what they said or what they did. It's about how we feel about what they say or what they do. So the key is to find peace in our own hearts. If we can find peace in our own hearts, then we can flow that peace out. Then we can respond more creatively. That's what responsibility truly is. Owning your emotions and then responding creatively to the moment, not just reacting. Big gulf between reaction and responding. Big gulf between reflecting and reflex. And between those 2 points, in that space, lies our magnificent creativity. Lies our ability to truly respond with grace and ease. Lies our ability to come up with the most creative solution in the moment, not just to change how we feel, but perhaps to change the things outside of us. And so this week, when we find ourselves emotionally constricted, emotionally turbulent, or getting all stirred up about something, let's come back to our heart, because that's where peace begins. Let's come back to that space of love. Let love in, and then let love out. I'm reminded of an interview with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Many, many years ago, he was interviewed about George W. Bush, and we were involved in the heat of the Iraq War at the time, and they said, "So what do you think about George W. Bush?" And the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, said, I love him. I love him. I don't agree with his policies, but I love him." And so we need to get to those spaces where we truly see everyone out there as a reflection of ourselves. And if our heart is big and shining and it's a bodhicitta, a noble awakened heart, then everyone we see has that same noble heart. And if we allow our love to flow to them, then their vibration will rise up. The light always wins. So don't worry about fumbling around in the dark. Just flick on the light. You don't need to do anything with that darkness. You just need to shine the brightest light. From the sweet spot of the universe, this is davidji, and I'll see you in the gap. Namaste.